Hi guys, it's Dynamo22, and I've got a Showdown live session for you today. I don't have much time to record, as you might have noticed from my lack of videos over the past couple of months. And I guess more importantly, my webcam just kind of doesn't seem to want to work 100% anymore. I guess it's really frustrating when you do a whole battle and you get to the end and you realize the audio cuts out at various places and you can't really upload it. So I figured I'd just do one of these because my computer should work fine, and I haven't done one of these in a while. And I don't have 100% like a lot of time to do this either, so I'm just using a team I threw together a while ago, back at the start of UU actually. And I figured I'd just run you through it real quick, get you knowing what's going on. We got Ariados for that sticky web and toxic spikes because sticky web's awesome, and Ariados was one of my favorite Pokemon since, the 90s, and it finally has something it can do usefully, so I try and use Ariados as much as I physically possibly can, which is why I never run Galvantula for Sticky Web, because Galvantula can suck it. Then we got Typhlosion, because Typhlosion is my favorite Pokemon, more or less. And we're kind of changing it up here with this Typhlosion. This was kind of the whole point of this team. It's Nature Power Typhlosion, and what Nature Power does is it changes moves depending on the field conditions. And as you might see on this Ampharos, electric terrain causes Nature Power to turn into Thunderbolt. So I thought, yay, that's pretty cool. And I looked through the people who learn Nature Power. I'm like, who would like Thunderbolt in their move pool that doesn't currently learn Thunderbolt? And I found Typhlosion, obviously, would love any sort of special coverage moves that aren't Focus Blast, because that's garbage, and I hate how I can't even pick 4 moves without running Focus Blast because he doesn't have good enough coverage. Excuse me. So I thought I'd build a team around that, and that's where this came from. I'm running Timid instead of Modest, even though I usually prefer Modest. I just figured since I'm using him in UU, I need him to be as fast as possible. You can get away with Modest in NU, I feel, but you definitely need Timid if you're going to try higher tiers. Um, Ampharos is mega-ampharos, because there's only like 4 things that learn electric terrain, so I pretty much had to put one of these on my team. And I love Ampharos in general. I think it's great, and it's got a bunch of special attack, so that's supposed to come in handy. Just standard mega-ampharos stuff there with the electric terrain, and then you volt switch a slow volt switch into the Typhlosion, so you don't have to take a hit. That's how that theoretically is supposed to work. Magneton, when I originally made this team, was a it was a Manectric. Obviously not Mega Manectric, because Ampharos is the Mega, but Mega Manectric has since bumped regular Manectric up to OU, so I had to replace it with literally like the only other thing that learns electric terrain that I'd be willing to use, which is Magneton. So same standardist kind of thing here. We got Evilite Analytic, which is really powerful if you can hit things. It kind of goes against the Sticky Web, but if they switch out, it has the same effect. And it's max HP, max special attack, so it can hit hard, and hopefully with the Evilite take some hits. We've got Banded Flygon, because it just kind of seemed like it brought the team together, because it's doesn't take much from hazard damage, and it just seemed, I don't know, when I was making this team, I think it was the last Pokemon I put on there, I just felt like Flygon fit in the team pretty well, and since I'm running Sticky Web, I chose Choice Band over over the good old Choice Scarf, which means I have nothing faster than base 100 on my team, which has been a problem when I played with this team before. And then lastly, I've got a Blastoise here because I need Rapid Spin for my Typhlosion, and it's pretty much one of the best Rapid Spinners in the tier. I didn't want to use Donphan for some reason, and it's got, pretty good defensive bulk. Again, it's not Mega because I already have a Mega on the team. And I'm running Aqua Jet Blastoise because it's just one of those things, if you know about me, I like to run not 100% conventional sets, but not sets that are dumb and useless. And Aqua Jet Blastoise, this comes in handy way more often than you would think. There's just a lot of times when I've been using Blastoise in the past, like, dang, if I had a priority move, this would be so nice right now. But Blastoise doesn't, wait, let me rephrase that. Blastoise has access to a priority move, and I had an open move slot, so I figured, hey, I'd tack that on, because Ice Beam doesn't do that much damage a lot when you're fully defensive. But as you can see, I've already found a battle here, and I'm not going to lead with Ariados because he's got a Rapid Spinner. And so what I am going to do, I'm going to just lead with Flygon. Now the thing about this team, between U-turn on Flygon, and then Volt Switch on both Ampharos and Magneton, is it's got a lot of U-turning and stuff going around, which isn't my usual playstyle. I never run Volt Turn. I always think it's really obnoxious when I fight people with the Volt Turn. But this team, just again, the idea is to somehow U-turn or Volt Switch on something and go into a Typhlosion with the Electric Turn up and not waste turns. So that's how that kind of came into being. Now, I predicted the switch to Trevenant there, obviously, because he didn't want me to Rapid Spin, so that's how that ended. And I don't really have much for Trevenant with the Stealth Rocks up. I suppose we'll go into Ariados. Ariados is kind of be fodder this game. He's not going to get his job done, but we can work on that later. Yeah, he's just going to burn me, so I'm extra useless because I don't have a Heal Builder on this team, which I usually like to. I'm going to set up Sticky Web instead of Toxic Spikes, because he can just switch into Tentacruel and absorb the Toxic Spikes. But with Sticky Web, he actually has to take the turn to Rapid Spin them. So that's what I did there, because I didn't really feel like any of my other moves were doing much good. He's going to Lead Seed, which is no problem. I'm just sacrificing Ariados so I can get it switched to something better. And the Toxic I put on him earlier is kind of racking up, which is again where I'm going with this. But I don't really have anything good to do is the main problem here. I'm going to switch into Magneton because I think I can pretty safely if he stays in, and if he wants to go to the Tentacruel and try and spin, I can also take that on pretty handily. We'll see what he does here. Probably some sort of... Nope, no, he's going to go for Rest, which is a real bummer, but he doesn't have a Chesto Berry or even a Lumberry. I'm just going to go for Flash Cannon and see how much it can do. He's going to go to Crobat, which is a really, really weird switch into Magneton, but I guess, you know, whatever. We're just going to Volt Switch on out. He's going to U-turn, I suppose, into the Crocodile to stop my... Whatever. No, he's going to go to Florges, which is weak to Steel, so I guess if he predicted electric attack, he should have gone to Crocodile. If he thought I might go for the Steel attack, he shouldn't have gone to Florges, but that's just my opinion. I really want to Rapid Spin, but that Trevenant is being a pain in the butt. I think I'm just going to sack Ariados and go back into Magneton here. Because again, Ariados technically did get a web up, but it's really not going to be useful this game. Especially at this point. So, goodbye Ariados, and then we're just going to go back to Magneton and do our little shenanigans here with the Flash Cannon. He doesn't really have much on his team that can take a Flash Cannon other than Darmanitan, I guess. Also, I just realized, and I kind of knew that before because I played with this team before, like I said, I don't have Stealth Rocks on this team, which is, you know, generally not advised. But just going to go into Blastoise. I'm really upset that he had Rest on his Trevenant, because that, I mean, he's back to full health, and Status is really my best way to deal with him. So, yeah, just going to go for a Earthquake. I'm going to try and Rapid Spin. I'm almost positive he's going to go back to Trevenant. No, it goes to Tentacruel, which is nice. So I do get the Stealth Rocks away. As again, he's probably going to go for his own Rapid Spin here. But that does give me an opportunity to pick a Pokemon and try and hit Tentacruel with it. And I'm going to select Magneton. And from there, I don't really know what I'm going to do. I might Volt Switch, but that Crocodile's pretty menacing there. Yeah, so he does get rid of my... you know what, I'm going to go for the Flash Cannon, just kind of expecting Oh, he's natural cure, so the fact that I toxic him, I guess, wasn't that big a deal. I should have seen that coming when he didn't have the berry. But again, Magneton is surprisingly doing a lot of work to his team here. And I did manage to Rapid Spin, so killing the Trevenant isn't as huge of a thing as it was before, but it just lets me go into Blastoise more safely now, because it doesn't have a 100% stop to me like it did before. And that really just frees up my team a little bit here, although we still got this Crocodile, which is still pretty dangerous. I'm just assuming it's Scarf, because that's what most of them are, but he could be something different, and that would really screw up my team. He's going to go for a knockoff, which is, pretty expected. I'm just going to go for a Scald, because I can now burn anything on his team that's left at this point. The Forge is going to come back in. It might have Aromatherapy, but I do manage to burn it, which, while he doesn't Aromatherapy, will continue to rack up damage. I'm just going to go back into Magneton, because again, Magneton threatens his whole team with a Flash Cannon. The only thing that can take Flash Cannon is Tentacruel, and Tentacruel can't take electric attacks, so we'll see. He's not going to live this. Yeah, so that didn't work. Magneton just took out a Darmanitan. And I'm really liking where this is going, honestly. But Blastoise's job is pretty much done here, so we'll just let him take an Earthquake or two. But right here, see, this is where Aqua Jet comes in handy, because before I die, I can get off a little bit of chip damage with Torrent boosted stuff. And he's leftovers, see? That's gonna. And he's. Oh, he was Intimidate the whole time, not Moxie. I should have picked up on that earlier, but gives me a good excuse to go into Banded Flygon and go for a Banded U-turn. And not quite kill him, but he's going to go for a knockoff, so I'm going to go for Ampharos. I might just stay in and let Ampharos die, even though I could switch back to Flygon, because I'm worried about him predicting that. And Flygon is much more useful than Ampharos is at this point, so I was kind of hoping to get static there, but, sometimes that doesn't happen. I'm just going to go for cancel, not a Volt Switch. We're going to go for a Dragon Pulse. Let's see if that's why I almost went for Volt Switch. I was so close, because I thought I was going to switch to Florges, but then I thought, he's probably not. So now we're going to go for an Electric Terrain. And now we're going to go for a... How much health is this Crocodile? 18%. We're going to go for Focus or Dragon Pulse. Nope, okay. That's okay, though. I was more worried about that Crocodile coming in on a Volt Switch than I was about the Forge getting his health back. And didn't make it this whole time because of the Moonblast, but he still managed to do a crit, which sucks. But we can go back into our favorite Magneton here. I'm sorry if this narration is really straightforward and boring. I literally haven't narrated anything for months, and I'm a little bit out of the whole how you should be doing this thing. But we're doing pretty well, I would say. We're low on the ladder, I'm guessing. Oh gosh, because I haven't been active for a while, and so I assume your rank goes back down. And this is not what I was hoping for right about now. But hopefully we can get back before we time out, because I think we're in a pretty good position to win. The main problem is the Forges, but Magneton can take care of it if we can keep it alive. And then we just have to keep the rest of our team alive enough to take out his team. I'm really upset with the fact that... Alright. Reload. Yeah, he set the timer on me, but luckily we still got 150 seconds left to make our decision. And now we can just spam more Flash Cannons, and if he switches out, we get super powerful Flash Cannons. If he stays in, it does a bunch of damage to him and he loses his special defense. So we wasted our Electric Terrain pretty much, but didn't really gain much from that Wish Protect, barely any, just one turn of leftovers really. And he can't stay in here because I got the special defense drop. So honestly, I had a lot of doubts when I put Magneton on this team instead of Manectric, but it It's really coming in handy here. So we're just gonna Volt Switch. He knocked off our Eviolite. That's a bummer. But we almost killed him, so that's worth it. I'm gonna go ahead and assume he's not max speed Tentacruel. I run a max speed Tentacruel, but that's a different story. We're just gonna go for Earthquake, let him get a free switch to Crobat, and then sack Ampharos. That's how we're gonna play this. He's now out of things that can. Okay, I can kill Crocodile from that. That's just a free kill for me. Yeah, see, that doesn't do you any good though, because you could have done that before. I mean, I guess you intimidated me. I guess he doesn't know I'm Choice Banded at this point, but still. We're just gonna sack Ampharos. He's not useful at this point in the game. Assuming we do live, we're just gonna go for a Dragon Pulse. If he switches, he'll switch to Florges, but that's okay. Yeah, he just opts to stay in and kill us. Now we're gonna go to Typhlosion here, because he's not really useful against his other two things. Well, I guess against oh god, oops, cancel. I went for Eruption. Actually, no, I am going for Eruption on purpose. I'm gonna. Oh, critical hit, we died. Doesn't matter what I went for. Well, that's unfortunate, because we're down to 2 Pokemon now. And one of them is Magneton, which is our key to victory. But other than that, and we lost our Eviolite too, so that Brave Bird's gonna hurt more than it wants to. I need to be able to take a hit from something, so we're just gonna go for a Stone Edge here and hope this turns out well. I probably should not have taken this course of action, but yeah, this I screwed up the end of this game, because now I can go into Crocodile, and he can live a Stone Edge from there, and I can't really switch into Magneton. Oh, he's gonna switch into that doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense. Even if you predicted a switch, you shouldn't have done that. Because now I can switch out of Flygon. And no, this is the matchup I needed right here. This is the matchup I've been trying to get the whole game. Yeah, Moonblast is not gonna stop me. I've got no Eviolite, but I didn't get the special attack drop. And I can just spam Flash Cannons until it gets to the point. Yeah, he's low enough now I can just go into Flygon, outspeed the Crocodile because he's not Scarf, and just lock myself into Earthquake. So that's GG. It took us forever to get to this point. This video is 17 minutes. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end the video here and then record another part possibly if I have time for that. There will be a part 2 of this Showdown live session. And if not, then this is just a treat I uploaded for you guys today. But thanks for watching. If you stay this long, I didn't get to show off the Thunderbolt with Typhlosion, but trust me, it's pretty cool when it works. And I actually have a lot of this team bred on my game. I would have to rebreed the. If this Banded Earthquake doesn't kill after the Intimidate and the Protect, I would be enraged. But yeah, so I've got Blastoise, Typhlosion, and Ariados ready. I don't have a Magneton. I could easily get a Manectric, but then I can play UU, and my mega-ampharos would need Electrotrain bred onto it. But other than that, I could have this team in Wi-Fi pretty soon. So leave a comment if you'd like to see that. Just leave a comment on your thoughts in general. I'd love to read comments, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.